Hey, I'm Ileka Falette, and I work with wellness entrepreneurs to get away from the chase and the grind and move toward monthly recurring revenue. Using visibility strategies, reclaiming your time, and shifting your mindset, you get to work less, live more, and feel better while you reclaim your revenue. So if this is for you and you're ready for this, then go ahead and go to ilekafalette.com and send me a message, and let's get you started to reclaim your revenue.
What's going on, reclaiming your revenue? What is happening, y'all? Welcome. Day 3.
Yes.
Day 3.
Day 3 of the expert series. Y'all, let us know that you can hear us and see us right now. For day 3 of the expert series, we got Greg back with us. We got Ileka. We got all 3 of us today. Got all 3 of us here. This is gonna be a big day.
Is it ever? We're ready to have some fun today. Today is out of control. We've been hinting on today, all week.
All week.
Y'all thought we was playing.
I gotta get in. Y'all gotta get in. Let us know in the comments that you can hear us and see us, and let us know where you are logging in from. Welcome to day 3 of the Success Tribe Expert Series. So excited to have Ileka co-hosting with us this time around from the Success Tribe. And I'm super excited because today y'all actually get to hear from the Ileka Falette herself, which, I mean, y'all, I can't tell you enough. I'm going to tell y'all how I met Ileka. And then we're going to let her get in here because, Ileka is going to give you the gems, whether you want them or not. So I'm going to buckle up.
Like my father.
And put a 1 in the chat if you're ready for Ileka. And do me a favor and tag somebody. Tag somebody that you know that needs a little bit of extra in their life right now because Ileka is the person for it. Ileka and I met Greg on Clubhouse. Right? During the pandemic, was on the Clubhouse app, the audio app, and kept seeing Ileka popping up in rooms. And like every single time she popped up in a room, she brought the energy with her. We were on Clubhouse for probably a good year before we ever even met in person, probably more like a year and a half.
Probably, yep.
And then we ended up both attending Chanel Evans' social media domination mansion retreat. Shout out to Chanel. Hop in to see her on Friday because Chanel is going to be speaking on Friday. And literally from the first moment that I met Ileka, I was like, this is my person. Like, where has she even been? Like, what's going on? Well, we separated at birth. Like, what's happening? We just clicked right away. And the interesting part is that we have different personalities, but we just complimented each other. And I was like, this is a person I know I'm going to have in my life for a long time. Greg, when did you first meet Ileka? What was your first thoughts on Ileka when you met her?
So my first meeting of Ileka was in our second collabs, guys. So you guys, we started our collabs last year. Our first collabs was in last April. We did our second collabs in October. But as Deana said, her and Ileka have definitely been working in a lot of things before then. So I knew Ileka virtually, and I've been in meetings, and we've run master classes, and we've connected together, but I'd never necessarily got a chance to meet her. But everyone kept saying, when you meet Ileka, you're going to know. That's what everyone kept saying. You're going to know. That's all everyone saying. You're going to know. And true, when I met Ileka, I knew, man,
right away.
Someone who just drops all the gems, who gets you right, make sure that you are where you need to be. But also, the ball of fire that she has and the passion that she has in what she does. There are a lot of people out there who are saying, oh, they're going to help you get your mindset correct. They're going to help you get your fitness together. They're going to help you find a way. But Ileka is somebody, she doesn't just say it, collect your money, and then want to see some results in a couple months. She gives you the steps. She gives you the tools. She gives you her community. All the people that she gets in her community now get her community and able to help out and to branch into different places. Yeah. Like I said, she was in Cancun with us last year where she got a chance to meet her husband, John. And from then I told John, John's on my church's prayer list ever since then. He has a steady spot on my church's prayer list. We know John. Everybody in my church know John. We pray for him. We pray for him. Like I said, the fact that Ileka, it shows in everything that she does, even when she's with her family, is when she's on vacation, when she's with her clients, her passion and her light completely shines through, man. So if this is your first time going to be able to catch Ileka on anything that she's speaking on, get your pads ready, get your pens ready, get your tissues ready, get your workout gear ready. She's going to take you through all the steps, like getting everything that you need to. So I'm excited, man. She's not even the only one we got today, but I'm excited.
I was about to say, we hyping Ileka, so she's going to kick us off. But today we also have Dr. Rhonda Alexander, who's going to be here, dropping the gems. We got Kim
Dr.
Graham,
Rhonda.
who's going to be here, dropping the gems. And then I'm around y'all out at the end of the day. It's going to be a big day.
This is big. This is big today.
This is a big day. This is a big day. And I'm not going to hold y'all any longer. Y'all, please, please, please show some love to our girl, Ileka Falette. We want the chat to blow up. Y'all say, hey, Ileka in the chat. Say, hey, Ileka.
Hey, hey. All right. I'm so excited about today, y'all. And we've been hosting this, and this has just been an event that we were super excited to get going. So I'm not gonna, take y'all through everything because we've been talking all week, right? I want to take y'all through how to bring in ease and abundance in your business, right? Because guess what? We all been here, right? So I'm gonna give you a quick story about me a few years ago. And I think this was early 2022. I'd wake up in the morning around 6 a.m. to get my workout in because I was committed to getting my exercise in, right? But what would happen is I would say I was waking up at 6 a.m. and yet I would jump out of bed around 6:15 and just go run, right? Oh, shoot, I got to go. So I go get to the gym, get my workout in, and then run back home trying to get the kids out the door. Sometimes they would eat breakfast. Sometimes they might not have, right? And then now it's off to go into the office. I get in the office by about 9 o'clock and be working either on calls, putting together programs, doing all the different things from 9 a.m. until essentially 6 p.m. And then I would try and either make dinner or, frankly, pizza, whatever it was that we could buy, bring in, whatever. It didn't matter. I had to hurry up because I had a bunch of stuff I needed to do, right? And there was nothing ease about this and there was nothing abundant about it. Honestly, in that time, it was actually one of the lowest points in my business, actually, because I was so busy chasing and running and fighting and trying to do all these things. What happened was I was pushing away the actual abundance. So this whole week, we're talking about ease and abundance and how to bring that back into our lives and in our business. And we brought experts together to do it. So I want to share with y'all some tips on how I made the shift and how so many of my clients and people that we work with have made the shift, right? We started off Monday where Lori McDowell gave some amazing tips on how to really reimagine you. And so let's talk about that piece of it, right? I know Leilani said yesterday, she said the first thing is deciding. And so that's what we're going to talk about first. I'm going to give y'all 3 tips, 3 steps to really create that ease and abundance in your business and your life. Okay. So if y'all ready to hear these tips, let me know, because I don't want to just be talking to the wall, right? Let me know. Type in 1 if y'all ready for these 3 tips. All right. Because I'm ready for them. And let me quickly, before I even go into the tips, let me quickly introduce who I am. So they introduced me, of course, these are my people, right? So they introduced me with that amazing introduction. I'm gonna give you a little bit more. I am Ileka Falette. I'm a mom of 4. I'm seeing some ones in the chat. I'm a mom of 4, married. For 20 years prior to this, I was a business strategist for Fortune 100 companies, right? About 8 years ago, I lost 120 pounds and decided that it was time for me to take my talents to YouTube and start to share what I was doing. And then I began coaching people on to have their transformation around weight loss and health, right? So that was where I started. About 3 years into that, I began having other coaches come to me and say, hey, how did you do that? How did you start that? How did you grow this business? Why are my clients coming to me asking about you? Basically, why do people know who you are? And so I began coaching wellness coaches to stand out in the industry, to become the in-demand person, and to really step in and, reclaim their revenue, make that money, right? So that's what I did, and that's what I do. So I'm going to give you 3 steps to how we did it, how we stand out in the industry, because when we stand out in our industry, when you're the in-demand person, what happens is it brings in ease and abundance. Because when you're in demand, now people want to see you. They want to come to you. You're attracting, right? When they see you on these different platforms as the authority in the space, they're like, oh, this is my person. Oh, I know when I do this, I want to be working with her. I want to be working with Felicia Roberts when I'm talking about, life and relationships after divorce. I want to be working with Sarah Khan when I am trying to set up the systems in my business and get my time back, and not be working like a freaking rat, in my business the way we did in corporate, right? Like these are the people we want to come to. I want to go to Heather Creason when I need to amp up my energy, right? Get my, cellular optimization back, like she went for it yesterday. And this is what we're talking about, right? So the first step in doing that and bringing in that ease and abundance is simply deciding, right? Like we talk about this. If you've ever watched a movie that talked about AA, right? Alcoholics Anonymous or Narcotics Anonymous or something like that, what they talk about is the first step is essentially admitting that there's an issue, admitting that you want to do something, admitting that this is important, right? And so when you're looking at how to bring in ease and abundance in your business, the first step is deciding that it's a freaking priority, right? It's deciding that this is something that I can do. This is something that I want, and I'm going to go for it. So if you want ease and abundance and you're ready to make that decision to do it now, type 2 in the chat, right? Type 2 in the chat. I'm ready to make that decision. I'm ready to have ease and abundance in my life. And when you do that, you get to visualize it. So I'm going to tell you one of the things that I do every morning, after jumping out of bed and running out and doing all that stuff that I was doing a few years ago. Now, when I wake up, the first thing that I do is I visualize my day. I take a deep breath and I think, what does today look like? What are the calls that I have? What do I do as soon as I wake up? Who am I connecting with today? How's my time with my kids going to look? What is the time with my husband going to look? Are we going for our walk today? Is he going to the office today? If he does, what am I doing? What does my day look like? And what it does is it sets a foundation. It sets a space to breathe and chill and calm for a bit, right? That's what that gives us. And so that's the first step, right? Is setting that mentality, deciding it's a priority and visualizing it. When you do that, when you see it, you can begin to step into it. All right, so that's the first step. And so that has really helped me because now it's no longer that get up, run, and go. And now every moment is like this. Now it's okay. I took 5 minutes to breathe, visualize my day, decide what I want it to look like. And now I get to go and live into it, right? How much does that do for you when you actually take that breath, that moment? It's so important and it's so helpful. So let's get to that second step, right? So the second step, and you've heard us talking about this all week, right? We are here in the Success Tribe is one of the spaces that we are sharing this this expert series, right? And so one of the things that we talk about is collaboration. The second thing is stop trying to do it alone. How many times? So I was working with a woman a few years ago. Her name was Linda, and Linda had a thriving. She had a thriving business as a health coach and nutritionist, right? So Linda was all about, okay, let me figure out. I've been doing this for 15 years. I know what I'm doing. My clients have amazing results, but most of her clients were in person. And she was trying to figure out, how do I build myself in this online space where folks will want to come to me? And so the whole time she's trying to figure it out, she's watching YouTube videos. Maybe she took a few courses. She did those things, but she was still feeling really alone in her business in this space. When Linda and I started working together, I was like, so Linda, what's happening in your business? Like, what is it that you have? Let me look at some of your nurturing sequences. How do you reach your clients? How are people coming to you? How are they finding you? And she said, well, it's normally, word of mouth. And I was like, okay, well, that's a thing. And that word of mouth still really works, right? But what happens when those mouths stop running, right? Like, what's going to happen after that? And she's like, well, it's been working for the last 15 years, but I know that it stopped here, meaning like this was the level where things were no longer growing, right? And she was also feeling like she was doing a lot, she was stressed out, and she was tired after, I think it was like 15 years of doing this. And so I said, well, Linda, what if we created some automations, right? If you had some of your systems automated, meaning like instead of you writing up all these emails, instead of you sending these things out, what if you had them automated? And she's like, well, I could, but I don't really know how to do that. I don't really know how to do that. I don't know how to use these different systems. I've tried MailChimp and I've tried Go High Level. I've tried all these things, but I don't really know how to do it. And so I'm like, well, why do you think you have to? Like, if you're not the expert in doing this thing, what you're doing is you're stressing yourself out by continuing to try to figure it out and try to do it. And let me take this 17th course on how to set up, an automation in my system, right? No, hire somebody, Linda. Like, what you doing? Get your time back. You've been doing this for 15 years, stressing yourself out, getting no sleep. But if you went and got your time back by hiring someone, it's a game changer. Linda would sit there trying to create a funnel, which she didn't even really understand what a funnel was, but she's trying to create this funnel. She's taken a course that was 20 hours of her time. Then she's sitting there for another 15 hours trying to put this thing together, and it's still not coming together the way she wants. So now, after these additional 15 hours, now we've all been at Linda's point sometime. Yes, exactly. Now, after these 15 hours, now Linda's sitting here. She's trying to figure out, okay, now I've gotten this together. Now I've got to write some things up. Now Linda has spent like 50 plus hours doing this. And all she talks about is how she's stressed on time. Well, here's the thing, Linda. If you hire someone to do this, like I work with Crystal Clear Action to work with my funnels, right? And put my things together and do the back office stuff for me. If you hire someone to do this, Linda, what happens is you get your time back. I asked Linda, I said, Linda, how much do you quantify your hours? Like, how much is an hour of working with you? And she's like, well, I charge my clients $100 an hour to work with me. Okay, so $100 an hour. That's what you're charging. That's fine right now. You're charging $100 an hour. Okay, so now if it's $100 an hour and it took you 50 hours to create this funnel that wasn't even, honestly, is not that great. Let's just be honest, Linda, it's not that great. That's $5,000 that you essentially spent. If you hired someone to do this, you might spend like $2,000, $3,000 for this exact same thing. You essentially save $2,000 and bring back some of that ease and less stress. And that gives you also extra time to create things, to work in your zone of genius. And so once Linda began to see that, she felt a little less alone because now she had a team. Hey, Linda, also connect with people. The more that you bring others into your space, the more you get to have additional conversations and get additional ideas and opinions on what you're doing so that you guys can work together to create something. Collaboration is super key when it comes to ease and abundance. Deanna's going to be talking about that later because, Deanna's the queen of collaboration, right? So she's going to be talking about that later, but I wanted to highlight that and seed it here that it is super important to bring others in with you in this process. Because the best way to growth, especially in 2024, is through that collaboration. To understand that doing it alone is not the thing, right? We done with that. We tried that in 2022. We all said, right? Now it's time to do it with somebody else. It's time to collaborate. All right. So that's number 2, right? Don't do it alone. Get your systems, have somebody else do it. I know for me, I'm gonna let somebody else do it. I do not have time. I don't even want to say I don't have time because I do have time. I just don't want to, because guess what? Me trying to do it does not bring in the ease and abundance. I'm going to just be honest, right? So we get to do that together, right? All right, so let's get to step number 3. Step number 3 is essentially creating a plan that allows you to have the business that you want, right? So when we're talking about that, we're talking about leveraging your influence, leveraging the collaborations, getting in front of new audiences that will allow you to step into you, right? So what does that mean? All right. Today we have, or this week, we have our Success Tribe expert series, right? That means that each of us who's on here gets to speak to new audiences, different audiences. Deanna and I work together to share audiences and bring the speakers here to new audiences so they can continue to connect, to be the expert in their space, to be the authority in these spaces. When we get to do that, what that does is it allows us to have more influence in new spaces, right? And so creating a plan, when we're thinking about creating a plan, it gets to look like, how many times do I want to show up? How do I want to show up in my business? That doesn't feel tired, that doesn't feel like it's draining and stressing me and pushing me, right? How do I want to show up? So one of the ways that we can show up one of the ways you can show up in your business, you can show up by, number one, once a month, creating a schedule where once a month you do a talk. What does that look like? That could be you doing a masterclass. That could be a webinar. It could be talking on a stage. It could be doing a local event, right? It could be in a summit. It could, like once a month, literally setting a schedule. Once a month, you do a talk, right? A talk somewhere. Twice a month, you do a podcast. You're in front of someone else's audience where you're doing a podcast. You're sharing what you do. You're sharing your gift, your expertise, all that on a podcast. Twice a month, right? 4 times a month, you do a live. So now you go live 4 times a month in different spaces, whether it be in your Facebook group, whether it be on your YouTube channel, whatever that is, you're going live 4 times a month. The reason this is important is because this creates that ease and abundance. People are seeing you. Your ideal client is seeing you more and more. And now you're showing up as the in-demand, as the person in the industry, right? This is one of the ways. When you have built that audience and people are seeing you as the in-demand person, as the authority in the space, right? In the industry, what happens is these people want to connect with you. They want to be here, right? They want to begin seeing you. When you have that plan, it's game changing. So create that plan, right? Again, and it's simple. 1 masterclass or one talk a month, 2 podcasts a month, 4 lives a month. You do that, it's consistent. Thank you. Consistency is key. It's consistent. And now you're showing up and that's it. You're all set. People get to see you. But it's more than that. Obviously, I can give you these 3 steps to bring some ease and abundance in your business, right? But here's the thing, right? You can have all the steps in the world and not even use them, right? You can have all the information. Ooh, I'm getting all this great stuff from this amazing events. These speakers are dropping gems. Let me write them all down. And then afterwards, you close your little notebook, you put it down, and you don't look at that thing again for 6 months. If that's what you want, go ahead, right? Or we can start to use it and begin taking some action. So for those who are action takers and are like, you know what? This is something that I want. I want to bring in that ease and abundance into my business by standing out in the industry, by being the in-demand person. What I'm offering today, I think Crystal knows for sure what I'm offering, but I think what I'm offering is to set up 20 minutes connection call with me. During our 20-minute connection call, we're going to discuss a plan for using your influence to create ease and abundance. A step-by-step plan to step up using your influence, right? To be the in-demand person in your industry and create ease and abundance in your business. I will tell you right now, guys, I work from 11 to 4 every day. Well, Monday through Thursday. Fridays is my self-care Friday. But I work 11 to 4. Tuesdays, I work a little later, and that's it. So it's about 20 hours a week is what my work schedule looks like. And I do that intentionally to create ease and abundance, right? So if you're ready for that, if you're like, you know what, I want to get that ease and abundance back into my business and my life, go ahead and set up that call. I think you can just text day 3. to, I don't even know the phone number, but it'll go across here at some point. But if you text day 3 to 718-550-8706, then we can have that quick 20-minute call. You'll get an email with that 20-minute call. Set it up. I don't offer this often, if I'm being honest. I do not offer a free call with me. Actually, I don't offer it ever anymore. So this is the one time, because we're in the Success Tribe and I want to do this for our community. All right. So go ahead, set up that 20-minute call, and we'll discuss how to create a plan for so that you can use your influence to create ease and abundance in your business and in your life again. All right. All right. Hey, Greg.
What up, y'all? Yo, Ileka coming with it. Yo, Ileka, unfortunately, yo, I've been a Linda at some point in my life with my
Linda.
business and just doing it and just thinking you can do everything. You said as well when you talking about Linda doing the funnel streams, it'd be the stuff that you have no idea how to do. You have no interest in doing it. You don't know how to do it. You don't have the proper training in doing it, but it's just something that needs to be done. So obviously I got to be the one to do it because I care that much about it.
Right.
No, obviously, like if I don't do it, then I'm showing that I don't care, or that like that I'm not willing to pull up my sleeve, my hands, and stuff like that. Obviously, no, like you said, no. Find somebody who this is what they do.
Right.
This is what they know how to do it, and they enjoy doing it, and they'll get it done in a quarter of the time.
And it'd be better because you don't want to do it. It's going to be trash.
Well, you said the better part too. That's like me. So everybody knows. Right now, I am not your IT guy. Like I can do basics. Like I can do what I need to do. Don't get me wrong. Like I can do what I need to. I don't need a manual. But like when it comes like getting into like certain programs or like doing certain things that like niche. Like, don't ask Greg, hey, Greg, what's this step? I am not that guy. But like you said, like I find somebody who that is their guy. Exactly. And it's going to come out in college, my computer classes, like we got to do computer design. Like, I had to do the class. But yo, am I going to say, yo, I can do this or this is what I do? Absolutely not. But like I can get by on it.
Right.
Like don't get by on stuff that is business.
Exactly. I'm a whole industrial engineer. And I don't feel like doing it, right? I do not want to do it, right? I mean, I could do it. I know I could. Like, show me how one time I could do this all day. I don't want to. And so when I partnered with Carmela and Leads to Funnel Pro, which is the SaaS and CRM and stuff, the only one that we use.
Yeah.
When I partnered with, I was like, Carmela, I don't want to do that part. Right? I was like, this is why I've hired Crystal Clear Action, because I know I don't want to do that part. I was like, let me just talk to the people, and this is the part that
I don't even want to talk to them. I'm going to forward your information to people.
Right. Carmela loves it.
Don't even involve me.
Yeah. She'll create an automation like this and be like, oh, it's so easy to do it. It's easy for you. It's not easy for the rest of us because we don't want to. Carmela, go ahead. You got that, right? She's so good at it.
Yeah, Felicia, get it. Get somebody else to do it. Please get somebody else. Please find somebody else. No, but yeah, Ileka is helping us gain into that ease and abundance, man. And that's what it comes down to when you have the time to be able to devote to the things that you care about, things that you're passionate about, things that matter most to your business and that you can actually be effective in. Exactly. You just land into that ease and abundance. It just comes naturally. It's all you just finding the time. It's like collaboration is key. And that's what we do at the tribe, as you said. That's what we do at the tribe. That's what the tribe is all about, collaboration. I don't want to do something. I know I got somebody. I know somebody and they can do it.
Right. Exactly. And that's the thing. It's like when we lean into that collaboration, that connection and hiring, right? It's game changing in our business. Absolutely game changing, because it's like now you have the brain power to focus on other stuff. Otherwise, you just doing you up here like this, not even nothing. Exactly. Stressed out and tired. Yep.
Guys, make sure you text day 3 to 718-550-8706 to get this offer. After she gave us the gems and gave us those 3 points, she's giving us a 20-minute call on there, yo. Text the number to get this offer. And the crazy thing about it, so you're gonna be with Ileka, she's gonna help you get the ease and abundance, finding time to do things that you want to do. And then when you got that time, you know what you're gonna want to do, Ileka?
Tell it.
You're gonna want to write a book. That's what you obviously you got this time. So you're going to want to write a book. You're going to want to have to tell this story on stages. So I don't know who else we could possibly call who might be able to help us out with this subject. But who do we have?
You know it's your girl.
Absolutely. Dr. Rhonda. Yes.
Hey, Ileka and Greg.
What's going on, Dr. Rhonda?
Good to see you both.
Yes.
So excited to be here.
Oh, I mean, and we excited for you because it's at least 10 people watching right now who's like, girl, I'm writing this book next year. Right. And they said that same thing last year. And they said the same thing.
Listen, look, you just been saying, listen, Linda, listen.
Linda, you know Linda too, see?
No, Linda.
We are not going to do this. We're not going to take another year. We're not going to wait till next year. We're not going to wait till next year. Now is the time.
Now is the time, yo. I am going to pop off and let Ileka and Dr. Rhonda chat for a little bit and let you guys know, if you do not know who the founder of Soul Scribe is and the book coach and the person who's helped you going to get on stages, Ileka is going to tell you everything you need to know about her. I'll check you guys out in a little bit.
Hey, y'all. Hey, so let me quickly introduce my friend Dr. Rhonda, because she is an absolute boss, a gem in this game. Not only is she dropping gems, but she's a true gem, right? So I gotta say, what did we meet? Like over a year ago now in person.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
We met over a year ago.
It's been a year.
Yes. Isn't that wild?
Time has flown. It's flown.
And when I met Dr. Rhonda, I thought she was my cousin, right? Because I was like, she looks just like my family, right?
That's hilarious.
Right. But not only that, the heart, right? The heart. This is the reason for the name of her company, Soul Scribe, because she leads with her heart and is completely authentic and real, right? She's not gonna play games with you, right? Ain't gonna be no games. She funny as all get out, right? But I
gotta keep up with you, Ileka, because you keep me going for real.
Just be saying stuff, but it's so real and it's so needed. There's so many people out here, especially professors, corporate leaders, right? And entrepreneurs who are saying, I want this book. And they think, oh, you know what? I'm gonna just do it by myself. I just write this book, right? I just do it. And it's gonna be an Amazon bestseller, right?
It's gonna be a hot mess is what it's gonna be. Let's be truthful about that.
Exactly. So I'm gonna let Rhonda handle it, Dr. Rhonda handle it moving forward, because she's gonna tell you how to really make that happen and make that work.
Absolutely.
Right, I'm gonna go on off stage, let you tell the people.
All right, thanks, Ileka. Hey y'all. So listen, real quick. I want you to picture this. Blue sky, it's a lovely day outside. It's sunny. It's just a wonderful day. And you're in the office at your desk, which faces a wall. And you are working really hard, being amazing as you are being, because you have no choice. You are amazing. And you are living your life, working your career as a top performing professional. In fact, the department that you lead is the top performing department in the organization. You are absolute powerhouse in that business. It's not your business, but you're a powerhouse there. And as you're working, you realize you haven't seen your boss in a couple of days. And so you get up and you find a colleague and say, hey, where's our boss? And your colleague says, oh, he's off for 2 weeks sailing the Mediterranean. And you go, okay. And you go back to your desk that faces the wall. You sit down and you start to work. And when you start to work, you realize something, that you are actually spending your most valuable years of your life making somebody else's dreams come true. And you finally, it clicks. It's time to now take a step away from this job and deeper into this business as a coach, a speaker, a consultant, because you should be the primary beneficiary rather, of the financial gain that comes from your expertise, right? You know that you need to write this book, the one that you've been thinking about for the last 10 years. I'm not judging, I'm just saying, right? So that you can accomplish this goal. And until now, you've been like, I can do both at once, right? Both, and I can have this full-time job and be amazing here, and I can coach, I can speak, I can consult over here, and I can do both, right? Because I've got this security blanket. But now something has changed. You realize it's time for you to jump in fully so you can write the book and start this next phase of your life. And so maybe from that, you've thought, okay, all right, no more fooling around, right? 2024 is my year, right? You started out in January, you're ready to go. You may have found some courses, some online tools, some webinars, you watching some folks, you mentoring, you might be stalking my page if you know me, trying to get some tips of how can I get this book written? And you think all I got to do is have the fortitude to sit down and write this book, knock it out. And every time you try, it just doesn't come. And it's kind of frustrating for you because if you're anything like me, if I can just get past this thing, like this is the key to getting to the next step, right? This is the key to opening up the next doors in my career. If I can't get this book done, I could be in limbo for the next 12 months. That means next year, I'll still be half a half in it, right? Half in full time over here, spending all my time on reports and clients for this business, for this company, and then trying to scrape enough together to build this business because I really want to get out of this space that I'm in over here in corporate world, right? And you'll find yourself there half and half for another year or 2 or 5 or 10, right? Because that goal keeps getting pushed, getting kicked down the can rather. You'll have a great job. You'll work with your clients. You will have it all, but your soul will not be getting the reward that you really want. And the book that you're assigned to write, the one that's supposed to change your life and everybody else's, is going to continue to burn inside of you. So let's be real, right? None of us wants to take what we have, what we've gained, what we've earned, and what we've built up with our own blood, sweat, and tears and give it away to someone else for them to then take and go sail on the Mediterranean, right? You want that freedom. You want to be able to create ease and abundance in your own life. You want to write a book so you can gain the time and freedom that you dream about. You know that the book that's in you has the power to change everything for you. It's just a matter of how can I get this book done, right? So I can reclaim ownership of my expertise and use it to make the kind of money that sustains my living and allows me to make a lasting difference in the people that I'm assigned to make, right? How can I do that? So that's why I founded SoulScribe. I'm a trained professional coach and I'm the author of 3 books. And I know the impact that having a transformative book to sell can have on your business and on your life. So I work with experts who want to write their book and then make big money with it in their business as coaches, consultants, and speakers. I coach them to write their book, and then I show them how to take that $20 book and make hundreds of thousands of dollars with it. Okay. That's what we're doing over here. So I'm gonna call you out just a little bit, because when I started talking about book, for some of y'all, when you started seeing book popping up, you rolled your eyes a little bit, like maybe it might have been a hair in there, or I'm not real sure. But some of you might have thought, I don't have the time, energy, or money to do this. And I'm not gonna call you out and say that's an excuse. I'm gonna say these are myths. Okay, not an excuse, because I am kind. These are myths. And I am going to kick these myths to the curb for you today. So let's talk about time. I'm super, super busy and I don't have time to write a book. Okay, here's the truth of the matter. My clients that are working with me write at least twice a day, between 600 and 700 words when they sit down to write. I'm sorry, twice a week. I say twice a day. No, twice a week. 600 to 700 words every time they sit down to write. They get it done in 4 months. Twice a week. 600 to 700 words is essentially a page and a half, or like one of those long, deep Facebook posts y'all like to write, the think pieces. So you done gone on a rant, and it's this long. That's really, you're halfway there. So half a page, maybe 30, 40 minutes, an hour of writing, 4 months. You have the time. If you can write those long Facebook posts, delete one of those and go spend some time writing this book. Okay. The second thing is, I want to write a book, but I think it's going to take a lot of time, take a lot of effort, rather. This blew my mind. I was talking to one of my clients in my accelerator this week. I have a 6-week accelerator that helps you gather all of the things that you need to write your book. And he said to me, I've procrastinated writing my book because it was going to feel like school. And I went, what? He said, it seemed like schoolwork, like another term paper. Like I got to sit down and write some math. He was like, I didn't want to do it because it seemed like it was going to be schoolwork. And I went, how many people are out here thinking I can't do this because it's going to feel like school? Now, for me, I loved school. So that sounds great. But for a lot of people, school wasn't great. And so sitting down and telling you got to write 2 times a week turns into really sounding like homework. So here's what I told him to do. Free tip for you. Download the Fathom app, open up Zoom, turn on your camera, talk to yourself on Zoom. Let Fathom create that transcript, copy and paste that transcript, and then edit it for reading. Or if you're super smart, drop it into ChatGPT and tell it to rewrite it for you. Tell it to write it for reading, right? There you got your tone, your story, your voice, all of your secret sauce. And all you had to do was sit and talk, right? So we want to do this easy. And then the last thing people say is, all of this is that's all great. It's just going to cost too much. And I have a question for you. If that is your thinking, how long are you willing to trade your peace for a paycheck? Right? You can make $250,000 a year and working your business, making, 5 figures, 4 or 5 figures a year, right? But you're still focused on that check that's going to come on the 1st and the 16th. Meanwhile, your heart is really over here with the people that you're passionate about, the causes that you're passionate about. And you're only half working on both sides, even though you're putting in lots of time. You're only half working on both sides because you really want to facilitate transformation in your dream clients. So what's the cost of your peace, your ease, and abundance? Right? What's the cost of that? What if you could invest 10% of that $250K and the return on that investment will come to you quickly from your book and from the premium experiences that you could offer with it, as well as the time and freedom that you'll get to live the life that you want to live. So the ROI isn't just the money, right? Because we got to have the money because we're not doing this on oolas and noolas, as they say out here. We're not doing this on that, right? We're doing this. We're transitioning into this next phase, living on top of the world. Your book can give you that ROI. In addition to the money, you're now getting your life back. Like Ileka said earlier, you're getting your time back. You're getting the time to spend with family, the time to do whatever you choose, even if it's just sitting on the porch, sipping lemonade at your leisure. You get to do that. So I want to go back real quick to my story at the beginning of the talk, right? Remember, I was telling you about the Mediterranean. That's my story. It's absolutely true. It happened. I had a desk facing the wall. Absolutely true story. And there was a turning point for me. So I know how you feel. I know that I knew at that time there was more. I knew I could not continue to spend my best years, my expertise on a job that was benefiting somebody else's dreams, knowing that it was time for me to make a change. I will never forget how that felt, to want to ditch my 9 to 5 and pursue my destiny and know that there's a way for me to do it. But I had previously just been kind of apprehensive about cutting it off, making the change, right? Making the decision to make this move. And a lot of the people who work with me, my clients, come to me, and at some point in our conversation, they say, and I'm just ready to leave this job because I know there's more out there for me. There's more in me to give, and there's more out there for me. And I tell them what I'm going to say to you right now. It is not your fault. I understand. What we're talking about here seriously is a faith leap. It is trusting God and betting on you, right? To write this book and to launch this business and turn it into a sustainable, consistent, substantial income. But what I have found is that you can do it. With the right coach and the right tools and guidance, you can write the story that will change everything for you and for your dream clients. All it takes is for you to be intentional and to be focused and to take the necessary steps to write this book, the one that people want and need. And I'm not just talking about some little book that you can just throw out there. I'm talking about the book, the one that people want to buy, want to read, and want to use to transform their lives. When you do, you're going to create the future that you imagine. If you want to sail the Mediterranean for 2 weeks, you can do that. And I know I've said that like 4 times here because I'm still not over it. Truth be told, I'm still not over it. That I was giving up my expertise for somebody else to have the freedom that I so much wanted, right? And so when you take this step, when you write this book and really dive into the assignment that comes with using it to create ease and abundance in your life and to level up your income so that you can devote your life to speaking, coaching, and consulting, you'll be amazed at what doors this book will open for you. You're going to have more time with your family, more time to travel, more ease and abundance, as I said, but you'll be doing it working smarter, not harder, because your book is going to do the heavy lifting for you. And isn't that what we really want? Isn't that what all of this is about? This ease and abundance. So what's the next step? I'm offering you ease and abundance. So here's the easy part. I want you to schedule a complimentary call with me to discuss your book idea and to create some goals and to decide what the next step is and how we can move forward working together. All you've got to do is go to meetwithdrronda.net and schedule your complimentary call. When you do, you're going to get your abundance, because when you do, I'm going to email you my ebook that's going to show you 7 ways to make 6 figures leveraging your book as a speaker, coach, or consultant. It's that simple. Ease and abundance with your book. That is it. The name of the game. Who's in? Who's in? Awesome.
Yes. That was amazing, Rhonda, Dr. Rhonda. You know what I love is that it's really stepping in and saying, you know what? You know what you want. You've been saying not only do you want to write this book, but you want to leverage it to get on more stages. And
Absolutely.
yet you're just saying it. Yet it's just words at this point. I love how you said, I'm not gonna, would you say you're not gonna call them out, or you're not gonna say it's an excuse?
They weren't excuses. They weren't excuses.
I'm gonna say it was an excuse. I'm gonna say it was an excuse. Dr.
I
Ryan.
didn't say it. I didn't say it. I didn't. Coach Ileka said it. I said they were myths.
Myths. I love that. Myths.
They were myths that we are dispelling on today.
Yeah. Exactly. Because it's like, we create this in our heads knowing that there is a desire, but then I think someone wrote in here something about allowing faith over fear, right?
Absolutely.
And
Absolutely.
living into the fear of, oh goodness, if I do this, then right? If I
Yeah,
do this, what happens?
absolutely. And the thing about it is, there's a lot of noise, right? There are some people who think, I actually had a woman who asked me, I was on a call yesterday, and I was telling her, okay, we're probably going to need to write twice a week. But she said, so for 8 hours, twice a week? And
8 hours.
That is, that was my reaction. Honey, no, 8 hours. No. So there's so much of a misconception that to write a book, it's going to take me a year, locked in a closet, writing nonstop for 8 hours so I can have this book by the end of 2025. And when I sit people down and I walk them through how much work you have to put into this, how much effort you have to put in terms of to get to your deadline, they all sit back and go, that's it? Really? That's it? It just takes consistency and showing up and knowing how to do it. So there's that noise, and then there's the noise that says, hey, I can just sit down for a weekend, and I'm gonna pull up my coffee, and I'm gonna just type away, and I'm gonna do it. And it doesn't work that way. It just doesn't. So a lot of noise and myths surround writing books. It is not a 24-month labor that people think it is. It really can be something that you get done in the next 4 to 6 months and start to transform your business and your life before Q4 even gets here.
Right. So, I mean, think about it, y'all. I got to just say this. That's a game-changing decision, right? That's literally a game changer to say, oh, I'm going to get my book done by the end of 2025, or I can have a book completed and out and ready and selling and being already able to leverage it to get on stages by 2020, during 2024.
During 2024.
Y'all, it's March right now.
It's March.
It's March right now. Imagine December. Right now it's December. Actually, I'm going to say November. It's November. And you're walking around and you get to step up on a stage and be speaking about it and saying, y'all, my book is in the back.
Absolutely.
Right?
Absolutely. Meet me in the back. I'm signing books, right?
Exactly.
And then having the opportunity to take that book and say, hey, want to have a greater experience with me than just writing my book? Hey, meet me for XYZ event, and I'll sit down and talk to you about the principles in the book. And now you're selling that book for $200 a pop, $400 a pop. And people are getting the transformation that's in the book. They're not just taking your book and putting it in their little conference tote bag and putting it in their trunk, never to open it up again. They're actually going to get an opportunity to work with you, to hear from you, and to actually be transformed by the content that you put in that book. That's where you get the ROI. That's where you get the dollars. And that's where you get the transformation that you ultimately want to have in your dream clients.
Exactly.
But you gotta have a book.
You got to actually do it. You can't just be saying you want to do it for years and years, or just assuming, hey, I'm going to write a book and it's all going to come. Right? Like those are the two people, right? It's like, I'm going to write the book, like that. Right? I'm going to write the book, never actually gets written. Or I have the book, or I'm going to write the book. And as soon as I write it, I know everybody. I know it's just, all of a sudden be on Oprah's book club list or whatever, right? That's what it's like. No, it's just not that. It doesn't just happen just like that.
Right.
It takes guidance, right? It takes understanding. It takes working with it and understanding how it can be done simply and with ease.
Absolutely.
Game changer.
Game changer. People don't think that. They think, that abundance can be had with a book, but they don't think that ease can be had with the book. And I'm here to tell you, as someone who has a book, there's ease here.
Yo, letting us know that your piece though is priceless. It is priceless, Dr. Rhonda. Let the people
Does
know.
it go up for auction on the 1st and the 16th? You tell me.
Right.
Yo, man, Dr. Rhonda coming wet. And as you said, Dr. Rhonda, It's your story. It's yours. Like somebody out there needs to hear this. There's an audience out there waiting
Absolutely.
for your story.
Absolutely. They're like literally waiting for you. Nobody else can transform their life. You are assigned to these people and they're waiting. They're literally waiting for you. They're waiting for your book. They're waiting to work with you. They're waiting to have their life transformed. And so I won't say who the holdup is, but they're
It's
waiting for
you.
you.
It's the holdup is
It's Coach Ileka.
Alika not gonna play along with it. Alika's like, well, no, I'll tell you.
I'm trying to be nice coach here today.
Right. Look at the nice coach, Dr. Rhonda. No, it's you. We all know it. I mean, heck, it's me. You know, I've been the person like, oh, I'm gonna write this book. Where my book at? Right. I got one and it did not go Amazon top bestseller. It didn't go nowhere.
You're supposed to be on volume 4 by now, Ileka.
Exactly.
All of the things that you do, all of your areas of expertise, we need books for all of those.
Don't get me writing a book.
That's coming. Yeah. A stocking stuffer coming this Christmas.
Yes. Vocal coach extraordinaire. We need that one.
Yo, guys, you have been listening and kicking it with the Dr. Rhonda Alexander, guys.
Thanks,
founder of Soul Scribe, helping us get into ease and abundance with telling our story, getting our book out there, and finding that purpose, guys. Dr. Rhonda, once more for the people who just might be tuning in and not too acquainted with you. Let them know who you are, what you're doing, and again, tell them about this offer that you got for the guys.
Awesome. Happy to do so. So once again, I'm Dr. Rhonda Alexander. I'm the founder of Soul Scribe. I work with people who want to write a book and make more money as speaker, coaches, and consultants. I do that because I believe you should be able to tell your story and make a bunch of money in the process. So I help people take a $20 book and turn it into a $200,000 payday. And today my offer has been to book a complimentary call with me so that we can talk about your book idea, talk about your goals with your book, and how we can get you from 0 pages to book written within the next 4 to 6 months. So all you have to do is go to meetwithdrrhonda.net. And when you do that, I am going to then send you my ebook that will give you 7 strategies for making 6 figures with your book as a speaker, coach, or consultant. So all you got to do is take one step and you get two prizes for one.
Yo, make sure y'all are texting day 3 to 718-550-8706 to get this offer from Dr. Rhonda. Dr. Rhonda, the people out there, if they want to collaborate with you, what type of collaborations are you looking for? What do you got going on in this next quarter?
Oh man, collaborations. I know yesterday, Leilani was like, oh, it's Dr. Rhonda. And so I was really excited. I got right on the call with her. I'm so excited to be collaborating with Leilani. I'm really interested in working with more speakers and getting in with people who are connected to speakers. And my favorite question to ask is, what speaker do you know that wants to make more money from the stage? That's my question. So if you know people, if you're connected to people, if you know those kind of folks, I'd love to collaborate with you, connect with you. I'm really excited that collaborations have come from the expert series already because Leilani and we're going to kill the game together. Y'all ain't even ready. So I'm very excited to collaborate in those ways.
Now, you and Leilani, that's absolutely dope. Now, that's going to be a story right there. I already see that one. That's gonna
oh, man, we were so excited to reconnect yesterday. You know, we met in Cancun, but yesterday we just had a great time reconnecting and talking with one another. So now we're going to put our heads together and we're going to cook up something really great.
Yes.
Guys out there, if you have not connected with Dr. Rhonda, I promise you, no one is going to get your story and find that purpose for you like she will. She does it with ease and she does it with intention, guys. I've seen her work. I've seen her speak. It is true. She just gave a dope retreat a couple months ago now out in the DMV area. And I know they're looking for another one coming soon. So we're going to be looking for that. But yo, if you are not connected with her, make sure you text day 3 to 718-550-8706 to get with our girl, Dr. Rhonda. Dr. Rhonda, we appreciate you, and we will be seeing you around the tribe, I know.
Absolutely. Yeah. Thank you so much. Y'all have a great one.
Yes. See you later. You know what I love, Doug? even just as we listen, Dr. Rhonda and Leilani is getting together. This is the just amazingness of the Success Tribe, right? They met in person in Cancun at Collabs International, right? And now they're about to create amazingness through collaboration. It's what we do here. It's what we do.
It is, Ileka, and you didn't even notice. You just gave me the biggest compliment of my life, I think, that I've ever had. You didn't even notice it. You called me Doug, and you did it with so ease. You called me Doug with so much ease, and I was like, I'm Doug. I was like, oh God, I'm Doug.
I must, you know what? That means I must need to call Doug because we ain't talked in a minute.
No, it's about me now. It's about me now. I feel this moment. This is the moment I've been waiting for. Like that you see Doug in some form of me. I'm like, yes, all right, I have arrived, y'all.
Hilarious.
I have arrived. Yeah. But no, the ease and abundance. The ease and abundance.
Right.
Like I said, getting that story out. Just getting your no one has your words, no one has your story, no one's going to be able to shape it and get that audience quite like you are.
Right.
It's been dope so far.
And to do it with ease, it's just right. Like everybody makes it hard, and it doesn't.
Everybody makes a lot of things hard. You know what? Some people make hard. Some people make finances really, really, really hard, and especially. Talking with like finances, like with your spouse or like, I feel like there's nobody out there who like really like garners towards powerful women looking to get like a really big step in their financials and then maybe even partnering with their spouse. I feel like there's nobody out there who really specializes in that. Oh wait.
I'm dying at that segue. That was a really good segue. I am here for the segue.
It was spectacular.
It was so good. It was so good. I was like, oh, that's how okay. Way to go, Doug. I'm so
right. It was Doug-esque. He was channeling.
So we have the one and only Kim Graham here today. What is going on, Kim Graham?
Hey, everybody. How are you guys doing? I hope you're having a fantastic Wednesday and you've been enjoying the Success Tribe Expert Series because I just listened to all of Dr. Rhonda. I got to call her too because, we got a book that we just finished. Like it's almost done. But we definitely want to leverage it so that we're.
Is this a joint Graham book?
Oh yeah, Daniel wrote it. I have like my piece that I have to finish in it, but yeah, it's called Wealth Happens Here. Ooh, I didn't say it, but I said it.
Oops, I didn't hear it.
You heard it here first.
Yo, and that's just what happens. Just
on stages.
Yeah, just by watching the series, guys, you were getting firsthand information, stuff that's right off the press. And I know Kim and Ileka got some stuff to talk about. So I'm going to drop out for a little bit and get my notes ready because I know Kim is about to give me everything I need to know about that money mastery. See you guys in a little bit.
Yes.
Hey, neighbor. Hey, neighbor. We need to go out to lunch soon.
We do need to go out to lunch soon. So for those who don't know, Kim and I live like 20 minutes apart. And one day we found out we were in the Success Tribe and we were like, wait, you live here? What? I live here.
It's crazy.
And then we were like, let's meet for lunch Friday. And so we did. And that is how we met in person for the first time. I mean, it's amazing the connections that happen. But Kim, I love with you, what you and Dan are doing. It's like Greg mentioned, it's something that most have not, we haven't seen really, right? I mean, at the level of bringing in, there's so many people, there's so many of us, especially women who are like, oh, I'm an entrepreneur, I'm growing my business and my husband doesn't get it. He doesn't understand because maybe he works a 9 to 5. And so he doesn't understand like what I'm doing and how I'm doing, where I need to invest and why. And so, and we aren't communicating at the level. So there may be some areas of tension. And so that's where Kim and Dan come in to really, really grow that and show you how to master it. And it's a game changer. And I'm gonna let you go into how y'all made the from selling the house, paid off student loans and all. Like it is incredible the things that you have done through that money mastery that you've really stepped into and leaned into. game changing. So
Thank you.
I'm gonna let you have it and share this because folks are ready for these. And I do not want to leave y'all. I do not want to leave y'all with me sitting here talking and Kim got all these gems to drop. So I'm gonna
I
pass
do, y'all. I
Yes.
do. Thank you so much for that, Ileka. I appreciate that. Someone said, "What's that called?" It's called "Wealth Happens Here," but you didn't hear. Yes, you did. You heard it from me. Hi guys. My name is Kimberly Graham. I am a money mastery coach. We work with couples who know they make money. Okay. Because what's the point of making all this money, but you're still feeling overwhelmed by where it's going and you don't know how to have a conversation about it and you're just left with all this tension? That just is not fun. That to me is not a marriage that is living in an affluent like perspective, an affluent lifestyle. And by affluent, I don't mean that you're just over here going, oh, look at all of my money and I'm hoity-toity. No. Like an affluent marriage lives within their values. An affluent marriage knows how to communicate with each other. They leverage each other's strengths and they know how to pull together to reach their financial goals. So that means that they are on their way of like absolutely crushing generational financial goals. That's what they're here to do. Okay. So if that's you or that you want that to be you, then you're in the right spot. Okay. Because we're going to be talking a lot about the three myths, main myths, because there's lots of them, but three myths that our society has given us that has basically told us that we that have kept us away from actually going after our wealth, from actually going after the wealth that we know we want to be able to harness and get in our families. So if you want to build wealth in your lifetime, if you want to build wealth between you, your spouse, your family, you want to build generational wealth that goes down to your kids. You want to be able to live a lifestyle where you're able to say, I can truly live that financial life where I feel completely grounded and secure. Go ahead and put a 1 in the comments if that's you. Hint, it should be everybody. This is not something that everyone has to think hard about. You know you want to be financially secure and you know that you want to figure this out, right? So put a 1 in the comments if that's you. If you want to live and have a very clear understanding of how to communicate with your spouse and live a life that is financially secure. So I'm going to talk about 3 myths that our society has given us that have completely stripped away our view of how to get to that space. The first one is thinking that you should be further ahead. Thinking that you should be farther ahead in your finances than you currently are. Here's a good sign, because we always love to say keeping up with the Joneses, and people love to make that thing, but how do you really know if you're trying to keep up with the Joneses, right? People are like, no, that's not me. I'm not trying to come out here and get a Jaguar. I'm not trying to get a McMansion. I'm not trying to keep up with the Joneses. Let me give you a phrase that you can kind of like tell yourself, ooh, I've totally gotten caught in that lie. That myth. You say to yourself, man, I feel like I should be further along than I am. I feel like that given my age, given my stature, given what I've done, I should be here. I should be having this car. I should have 2.5 kids. I should. You're just shitting yourself, right? That is a clear sign that you are coming into society's standards of what should be. That tells me that you haven't really done a full understanding of what your values are in your finances. You don't know what your values are. You're copying off of everybody else's values and saying, based on what society's saying, this is where I should be. But you haven't really stopped to look at what your actual financial values are. What are they? What does that look like? You haven't taken the time to truly quantify and validate what that is. What do you want? So I'll give you an example, and I'm going to bring this up a couple of times. When you talk about your values, for example, I am not a person who cares or will ever care about name brand clothes. It's just not something I'm going to care about. It's not something that I want to put my money towards. But guess what? They tell me that if I make a certain amount of money, that I should be going after the Coaches, the Chanels of the world. I should be getting those shoes. I should be getting the name brand this, the name brand that. Why? If it's not my value and it's not something that makes me jump for joy, why am I putting stock into it? You know what does make me happy? Vacations. You know what does make me happy? Even more specifically, Disney vacations. And I will put my dollars towards that because that is a value that I care about. Time with my kids, experiences with my kids. But I'm not just going to say I want to go on vacations. I'm going to make sure that I quantify. What does that look like? And if I know what that looks like and what my ideal valued lifestyle looks like, and I quantify it, then I'm going to be able to make sure that my day-to-day dollars how I'm looking at my day-to-day finances can actually go along with that goal, that value, that lifestyle that I truly want to live. So that's the first one. Thinking you should be further ahead than you should be. Check your values. What do you want? What do you want your money to do for you? That's the first myth that we're trying to say that is like messing us up. It's causing us to feel like we have to keep chasing the next like step up, more money, the corporate ladder, chasing that next sale, because that's when I'll feel fulfilled. Once I buy that thing, you don't know where your values are. Second thing is spending is bad. How many of you heard that spending is bad? Typically, if you're talking to someone about money management, we typically love to say things like, or you hear things like, we have to cut down on spending. There's restriction involved in it. So give me a thumbs up or some type of emoji if you've heard that if you want to do well with your money, then you have to just stop spending and you're no longer allowed to do those things. Like that's just it. And there's this feeling of if I have to look at my money or if I have to talk about it, it means that there's restriction and I don't like that, right? So there's this feeling of like restriction that happens. And that restriction is what causes us to be like, oh, you're telling me that it's bad for me to spend? I'm a spender. Can you guys, or do I have any other people who are spenders in here? Because I am the spender between my husband and I. And that can cause some risks. So if you're the spender and your husband or your spouse is typically the saver, can you go ahead and just say, hey, oh, because that is totally me, right? We are polar opposites. Society says that we should be at odds altogether, like all the time. Think about how many like tropes you hear on sitcoms where there's one spouse that typically loves to spend and go, oh, I'm spending and I'm having such a good time. And the other one that is restricting the person and saying, you can't do that. Don't you know we got bills to pay, right? Typically the male, right? But that's not always the case. So if you're hearing that over and over again in your sitcoms, if you're hearing that over and over and over again in conversations with your spouse, where you're constantly hearing, you spent what? You did what? How are we supposed to do? What did you do? Why did you spend that? What was even the point in that? You're hearing to yourself, spending is bad. The way that I communicate with my money, the way that I enjoy communicating with my money, which is spending, is a bad thing. I am bad at money. And you're giving into that myth that you are bad at money if you like to spend. And that is false. So false. You have to really think back, really go deeper. And I love to tell my clients to do this. If you are the person who enjoys spending money, ask yourself, why are you spending the way that you spend? Where is it coming from? For some people, like I mentioned before, I love my Disney trips. Why? Because I love spending time with my family and I love being in a place that's quite magical. But there's also other places and other things that I like to do. And there's a reason why I enjoy spending the way that I spend. If you can think to yourself, why do I spend the way that I spend? You're going to be able to think about, oh, I'm not coming from a place of wanting to ruin my household. I'm not coming from a place that's trying to take from my future. My investments, like security is important to me too. I just like being able to I want to be able to enjoy my money now. But you're telling me, society, you're telling me, spouse, that it's a bad thing for me to want that. And I'm here to tell you right now, as your sister who also loves to spend, that is false. You have an amazing, amazing gift that when you understand how to leverage the strength you bring to the table, you're actually giving your family an amazing experience and understanding how to enjoy money while also learning how to invest in future so that you can continue to keep a consistent lifestyle of enjoying money. There's nothing wrong with that. And so when we hear what our spouse says to us, what did you do? Why did you spend? And that's the only thing you're hearing. You're thinking to yourself that you're bad at money, and that is so false. So we hear a lot of differing things. Society says, oh, there's typically one that spends, and if they do, they are not to be at the conversation about money. They're not going to care about it. But the reality is we don't really talk about how it affects our marriage. And our marriages and our communication are now becoming more divided as a result of this myth that if you're the person who likes to spend, you're the reason why you're not building wealth in your family. And that's a detriment to your marriage. Going on to the third myth, only one person should manage the money and the other person should just stay in their lane. You don't get to know what's happening behind closed doors because you don't really care anyway, do you? You don't really want to know what's going behind here. I got it. I'll do it. You stay over here. But why did you spend that much money? What are you thinking? But you're not being told you're not being a part of the conversation. This division is taking away from the conversations that you could be having. Think about the conversations you could be having if you're not having fights about petty things. What types of conversations could you be having around money when you both have positive understanding around your finances? You could be talking about, oh, we're on track for our investments. We're going to hit multi-millions by the time we're 55. Let's keep it up. We're doing a great job. Imagine if we said, oh my goodness, we're on track. We're going to be able to go to our third vacation destination and we're paying it in cash. And I already have it set up to go. It's going to be amazing. I'm so excited. And because I'm the spender and I love planning trips, I am in my element. And my spouse, this is true story. This is how it is. Hey, both spenders, you both have, oh my gosh, that's even better. But there's also like my spouse who's able to come to the table and go, I'm so happy that you're in your element. I'm so happy that you're bringing this to the family to bridge out this dynamic. What can happen when you are not having petty conversations around money? There's this perspective that we should only talk about money when it's for the big stuff. But when it's always bad, if you hear, hey, babe, we got to have a money conversation, and your immediate reaction is, I don't want to talk. I don't want to talk. Oh my God, what did I do now? You are giving yourself a mental and physical reaction that money is the enemy. I like spending money. That's fun. But I hate talking about money. Talking about money means restriction. Talking about money means that I have to say no. Talking about restriction means that, I don't like it. It causes fights. It causes dissension. I don't like it. 41% of Americans with families say that money is the biggest source of tension in their household. Imagine what type of example are you giving to your kids if you're constantly fighting about money? Even if it's behind closed doors, your children can feel that. You know how you grow up and you said, well, my family didn't talk about money, so we don't talk about money because we were never taught. So why don't you learn? That myth has been able to move down generation to generation, and you're causing that generational curse to perpetuate for years and years and years. You have the opportunity to stop that myth and say, no, we're a team. When we learn how to get rid of the divisiveness in our finances and learn how to communicate around money, we can not only have better, more effective conversations that are faster, that revolve around the things that make us happy. We can actually start living in alignment to our values, like I mentioned in the first myth, and actually live in according to the values that are the most important to us. And we can be the happiest, not based on society standards, but on our own standards. We know that we're secure. We feel good in the spending that we're doing, both now and in the future. That is what happens when you have an aligned, harmonious marriage. We call that the millionaire marriage effect, where you feel like $1 million in your marriage, where it's easy to have conversations about money. Division and secrecy around finances leads to infidelity in marriage because of the lack of communication. And you can see how that works. If I lie or if I don't want to talk about money, it's easy for me to open a bank account where my husband doesn't see it. I don't want him to see this because I don't want him to have a say in what I do with my money. And it's easier to do this than to have the conversation with him. You're inviting division and secrecy into your marriage. Where else is that going to be evident? Just think about it. This is a huge, huge myth that is causing a lot of marriages to break down. So I'm going to try and wrap up because I can get really wrapped up and excited about this. Listen, my husband and I had $76,000 worth of student loan debt. We paid it off in 28 months as educators. We're both educators. Fast forward, we bought a home and in 7 years paid off 80% of it and made a killer profit of $240,000. That happened this past January. We have been able to, in the midst of grad school, in the midst of building our family, in the midst of, starting a business, in the midst of the roller coasters of business, in the midst of all of that, maintain good and strong financial communication, which has kept us staying sane. There has never been a moment where we have been like, oh no, I can't talk to him, or there's secrecy there. There's an openness and a trust that we have within our marriage that we had to cultivate. And so we figured it out how to share this with other couples. And we've helped them put more than $500,000 back in their pockets, back in their investments, and help them live out our phrase, which is living in love and walking in wealth. So what I have for you is I have a quiz that's going to help you identify the way you communicate with your money. Because as soon as you understand more about yourself, why do you communicate with your money the way you do? You can understand how to leverage it for success. When you understand your spouse, you're able to have them leverage for success. And when you work together, you're a force to be reckoned with. You can literally do anything that you want because you understand how to communicate with each other about your finances. So I want you to think, what if you could create an atmosphere of positivity around your finances? How would that change the rest of your worldview? If you were able to create values that aligned and actually go for those things, how could that change the way you view your money? If you were able to understand the day-to-day management of your money and able to say, this is exactly what we need to do to make our millions and to work together and to break generational curses, what would that do for you? So go ahead and I guess do the number if you would like to access to that quiz. If you want to talk to me more, we are doing an amazing mastermind where you're going to be able to come in and we'll teach you the framework of exactly how we're able to get couples oh my God, I can't talk. I'm all fired up. We want to be able to help couples create effective, fast financial conversations with their spouse around money. We're talking less than 20 minutes, talking about this stuff that's actually important and of value to you, to help them actually build wealth and align their values instead of the petty crap that keeps you in the weeds and keeps you from actually amassing wealth. So that's what we do. Those are the 3 myths. Stay out of those traps, y'all. And we want you to live in love and walk in wealth.
What is going on, Kim? Graham coming with it as usual, yo.
That was amazing, Kim. I mean, first of all, I always love to touch on we paid off $70,000 in student loans as educators.
As educators.
We don't know what that means. As educators part means.
$60,000 combined, and we live in the DMV. So you do the math.
Right.
That was a lot of extra work that we had to do to get there, but we did it.
Right.
And
you did it while going to Disney World. You know, because I know you and your Disney World trips. You don't play about them Disney World trips.
Nope. We're going on another one in 39 days, and I am ready.
And you live in a place now with such ease and abundance because you have this clear communication between you and your husband about your finances.
Exactly. And it's so awesome because this is not something that only some people can aspire to, right? Every single couple, you got married for a reason, didn't you? You said, I do. You said death till us part. You said for richer, for poorer. But then when it comes time to have a conversation about money, you're like, nah, you do it. I don't want to talk to you about it. It's good. We don't have to. What is the point? That is such a foundational thing that causes you to do all the things you want to do in life.
Exactly. Let's just skip that conversation. We'll get to that later.
It'll work itself out.
It'll work itself out. It'll be fine. Okay, let's see how that's gotten you this far. Let's talk about the amount of fights you've had about money in the last, I don't know, month.
Exactly. I think you gave the statistics of relationships that actually decline due to financial issues, right? I think that's a leading cause of divorce right now.
It's a top 3 leading cause of divorce. Communication is one of the top ones, which goes hand in hand with money. Right. And then obviously there's infidelity, but finances can kind of trickle into all 3 of them if you really think about it and want to go deeper with it. So it's a huge thing that it doesn't take that much if you tweak just a kind of little things here and there. If both parties are willing and open, it's a beautiful thing what happens. The transformation that our clients are having is just absolutely phenomenal.
Like you said, Kim, you've helped your clients save and settle almost $500,000 worth of debt and finances. What is the biggest thing that your clients usually say to you, when you're in the process, or because it's such a hard thing, and then finally they at the table and they see oh, this is a plan, it seems like this is going to work. How they usually feel? What do they usually say?
It's really funny. Like, it's typically like they think that many clients want to go directly to the dollars. Tell me the dollars, give me the plan, just tell me what I got to do and I'll do it. But then when I tell them, okay, what I want you to do before we get there is I want you to just like have a 5-minute conversation about what you even want. And they look at me like I have like 8 heads. They're like, excuse me, what? And I'm like, what do you want? If you don't even have a destination, there's no sense in me giving you the map. Like, you know, like I can't give you the map if you don't even know the destination. What do you want? Like, let's make sure we align that. And they find that once they do that, they're like, we actually want a lot of the same things in life. And we've never actually quantified it. And we recognize that given the amount of money we make, we could actually, we could do that now. Why have we been wasting the last 5-10 years? And we could have been living the life that we desire right now. We've just never sat down and quantified it. And I'm like,
It's wild.
that's what I'm here for.
Guys, don't be that couple. Don't be like Linda. Don't be like any other people that you heard today, guys. If this is something that you know you need in your life, Kim has helped, like she said, almost $500,000 has been saved and settled because of working with her and clear communication with your spouse about finances. That's something that I think anybody could benefit from. But no, she does it. And what she had, she touched on a little bit. They have a podcast, a dope podcast.
Oh, we do.
We do have a podcast. It's called the Affluent Marriage Podcast. You might see it on Success Tribe. We talk about our Better Together series where we interview couples, and we need to interview you guys. So y'all need to get on our schedule. We need to interview Ileka too. Let's get on that schedule. Yeah, so that we really talk about how communication really does run so deep into all of these different topics of how couples have been able to overcome.
Absolutely.
Yeah, you got the podcast. They're out there on TikTok. She's out there going viral on TikTok for not necessarily money mastery reasons. I've been watching the updates last week when you got the big box. And I'm not a big fan of, I'm not going to call them out. I'm not a big fan of hers, but I did watch your whole entire video. I'm not going to lie. And I was happy for you. I'm very happy.
I was surprised. Did you not know about this?
I saw you with a box and I was like, what is Kim doing?
I don't know. Listen, Disney knows that I am the it girl, right? They're gonna invite me to be an influencer. It's only a matter of time, but Disney Plus asked me to like promote this concert, and that's what I did. So they just sent me this PR box. I'm here for it.
100%. I love it.
Here for it. Always go. Kim, one more time for the people who are just tuning in. Let them know who you are. Let them know about what is going on with you. And then one more time with this offer that you're giving out to the people.
Awesome. Yes, absolutely. My name is Kimberly Graham. My husband and I are money mastery coaches for couples. We love to help couples who know they're making good money, make sure that they have really good, clear, concise communication around finances so they can live in love and walk in wealth. I have something that's amazing for you guys. It is a quiz. It is your money archetype. And this is really important if you want to understand how you communicate with your money and how your spouse communicates with their money, to recognize they're not trying to sabotage you. That's just who they are. And when you learn what they are or who they are, and you're able to leverage the strengths you both bring to the table, that's really where synergy and alignment can start to form. So check out that quiz. It's completely free. And if you would like to talk further about our mastermind and other programs to help you with your communication and money management, get in my DMs.
Yes.
Yo, make sure you get all up in the DMs to hit Kim and Dan up on Money Mastery. Last question for you, Kim. What ways are you looking to collaborate? People out there want to get in touch with you. What stages are you looking to get into? How are you looking to get in contact with the people?
Oh my goodness. I have been in so many great conversations with people who are in like groups of other couples who are so serious about their business growing. So there's a lot of different spaces that I've been in recently where they're really trying to get their business off the ground and they're working together. So places where couples gather is like really the best place. If you know a place like that where couples are gathering, marriage conferences, any of those types of things, we would love to speak in those places. We'd also love to be connected with some people who are a part of those places, because those are awesome, because we are able to talk and give this understanding, and people are able to say, oh my gosh, if we want our business to grow, we do need to have clear communication around finances, and we know how to make money, but managing it is a totally different skill set. And that's what we'd love to be able to teach.
Yo, and you
Love
do it
that.
so well, guys. You guys are really making an impact out there. You can see it all through your social media
Yeah.
and all things you're doing. But you guys are doing really, really big stuff. And I'm really happy and proud of you guys for all the work you've been doing over the past 2 years.
Yeah, and I love that you practice exactly what you preach. You know, it's like that's what you live, the life that you teach, and it's golden, right? And it shows in everything you do. So I'm super excited. I can't wait. The people who get to work with Kim and Dan in their mastermind program. I mean, just look for that. Just await the transformation, the shift. Like it's game changing.
Yeah. Join the millionaire marriage movement, y'all.
Yeah.
Yo, and to add, they're absolutely dope people. Kim and Dan are really dope people, and they're really, really genuine about what they're doing. So it's absolutely dope to be a part of their success and how they've been really killing the game. If you want to be a part of it too, guys, make sure you text Day 3 to 718-550-8706 to get it with our girl, Kim Graham. Kim, I know for sure I'm going to be seeing you around the tribe. So we will be seeing you. I know you're not going to make collabs this cohort because you guys will be in Disney. I know preferring a Disney trip, but October is that week still better be blocked off for us.
Of course it is. It is there. We will be there.
All right, Kim, we'll see you.
All right, bye.
All right,
Ileka, man, Ileka, yo. It's really a thing that couples really, it's hard. Finances, as it shouldn't be, especially this person that you've been living, hopefully you're seeing a future with. This is a person that you have some assets together. These are conversations that should come natural, but it's such a hard thing for people, especially couples, to get on the same page when it comes to their finances.
It really is. And, it's funny because a lot of folks, they may have gone through, they did the premarital counseling and they thought, you know what? They talked about it, premarital counseling. We got this. Well, it's 15 years later. Have y'all been using those tools and skills? Like, come on.
It's supposed to transfer over because the Reverend put it on there. It transfers over throughout the whole entire marriage. Blessed it. Blessed it. The whole marriage is good.
Right.
Like you said, yeah. At one point, you need a coach. At the end of the day, at one point you need a coach. And I wish we had somebody who could help us talk about like being a coach to people and making sure that like you're giving people the tools and that you're collaborating and that it feels so easy and abundant. I really wish we had somebody.
If we know anybody, like, do we?
I don't know. Hey, yo, it's been working like this all day, Ileka. Like you ask and you receive.
Like manifesting it.
Guys, we got an exclusive going on here. Make sure y'all put it all up in the chats. Make sure you tag a friend, tag us somebody, yo. We got the Deana Jean in here with us, giving us some details and some chats going on about what's going on. What's going on, D?
What's going on? I'm excited. This is the first time ever that I am actually speaking at the expert series. Usually we reserve these conversations for the Success Tribe. We do our master classes. But this time around, I'm like, you know what? I'm ready. I'm ready to bring it to the people. I'm excited to talk about bringing ease and abundance to collabs.
Yeah, I know that this is what you and Ileka do, especially with the ease and abundance. So I'm gonna let you guys talk for a sec. And I got my book ready. I'm ready with the notes. I'll see you guys in a little bit.
He got that Collabs in Cancun book. He
gonna promote the book. The book.
Right.
You gonna see the book. You gonna see the book.
It's about to be an Amazon bestseller in a minute, because oh my goodness. But Deana, folks have been waiting for this. Like, this is the thing, because we were talking earlier this week about how everyone thinks, oh yeah, collabs are the thing. Collabs are the thing.
Easy.
So I know how to collab. It's easy. I can collab. Girl, I was collabing the other day. And at the end of the day, we all think we have it, but imagine having an expert here who can literally guide you and provide the blueprint for successful collabs that bring about ease, abundance, and frankly, finances, growth, money, right? Money. Yeah. That's a game changer. We're all here because of collabs, right? We are all here. Everyone that spoke this week and speaking this week is speaking because of the collaborations that you have really guided us through. I mean, you're, in my opinion, game changer, like the expert in this space. You know, I don't want to hype it up too much, and so that's why I'm literally downplaying this right now. So imagine if I was
I'm not hyping it. I'm just saying.
So Deana, please share with us, because we cannot wait. This is golden right here. I'm gonna go ahead and drop down so you can share these gems with everybody.
Yes, thank you, Ileka. Y'all, I'm so excited to be able to be here to talk to y'all about collabs. Throw one in the chat if you are here because you are collab curious. If you are here because you're saying, Deana, I hear people talking about collaboration. I hear all these definitions about collaboration, and I'm curious about how to make collaboration work for me. Just drop a 1 inside of the chat. For all those people who drop a 1 inside of the chat, you are exactly where I was just a few years ago, when I was trying to figure out, how am I going to make this business that I decided that I was going to launch, how am I going to make sure that it thrives? How am I going to pour into the lives that I want to pour into? But honestly, how am I going to make it easy? And how am I going to make it easy and do it in a way where I know that it is wildly profitable, where I know that there's tremendous impact that's happening every single time that I get to connect with folks? Y'all, collaboration is nothing more than you being able to help other people have their genius zone and the thing that they do shine and complement the thing that you do. So today, I wanted to give y'all 3 quick strategies, because a big question is always, how do I collaborate, Deana? I know what it is that I want to be able to accomplish. I know who it is that I want to be talking to. How do I do it? So I'm going to give you actionable, doable 3 things. If you do these 3 things in succession, I am telling you, your next collab is going to be your best collab. I don't give guarantees a lot. I guarantee you, do these 3 things in succession and your next collab is going to be your best collab. If you're ready, go ahead and put a ready inside of the chat. I want to give y'all a realistic example, because I'm very, very big on tangible examples, real life examples. I'm not a fan of theory. I'm much more of a fan of practice, because everybody has different situations. Everybody has different circumstances. So we're going to use a real life example. Put a me in the chat if you are trying to figure out how me and Ileka pulled off this expert series in less than 2 weeks. Put a me in the chat if you want to know how me and Ileka pulled off this expert series from literally the moment that we said that we were going to do it to execution. Put a me inside of the chat. There we go. And here they come. Here come the me's. Step number 1. Y'all ready for number 1? I was very clear about what my goal was. Step number 1. If you are looking to make your next collab your best collab, start with a specific goal. Step number 1. Now, remember, I told you actionable, doable. I want you to put inside of the chat a specific goal that you have for Q2, because Q1 is finishing up and we're getting ready to roll into Q2. Put a specific goal that you have for Q2 inside of the chat. The specific goal that I had with this expert series was that I wanted us to be able to launch an expert series that showcased different skills, different skill sets, different genius zones of experts that would make it easier for you to run an abundant business. That was literally the goal. How can I create an opportunity to have visibility and impact that makes it easier for people to run more abundant businesses? That was my goal. Number 1 goal. So now, I want to hear and I want to see your goals here inside of the chat. So put your goal. When I looked at that goal, I knew that there was a specific period of time that I had in order to be able to accomplish it. I knew that we wanted to be able to execute this expert series before we left for Jamaica, right? So we knew that the drop dead date had to be by April 1 because we leave for Jamaica, collabs in Jamaica on April 15th. I also knew that we were going to use 5 days. So I needed to make sure that I had the 5 days set aside. All right. So those were the things that I knew. Ease and abundance. Why? Because everybody is telling me, Deanna, I want to make it easier, but I don't want to make it easier and be struggling. I want to be able to make more money. I want to have more impact easier. So to me, the answer to that question is, I don't just want you to hear from me. I want to be able to give you as many resources as possible so that you can really and truly have everything you need in your tool belt to be able to achieve that abundance with ease. All right. So that's the first thing, is the goal. If you with me, put yes in the chat. Goal. Thing number 2 that you have to think about. After you write down your goal, the thing number 2 that you have to think about, if you want to make your next collab your best collab, is what am I bringing to the table? What am I going to bring to the table to achieve this goal? Because collaboration is all about creating mutually valuable opportunities that are going to create more ease and abundance for you. And your gift, when we talk about collaboration, is your currency. It's like the money. It's like the thing that's going to attract people to you. So when I thought about what my gifts were, I thought about the fact that I have an amazing community of speakers, coaches, consultants who already have a heart for collaboration. So I knew I could bring that to the table. I have a framework. I have a framework that is tried and true and works for collaboration. I knew I could bring that to the table. I'm a strategist. So I'm not only going to find the best way to do something, I'm going to make sure that it's efficient. Everything that I do has a strategy. I'm always 3-4 steps ahead. That's a gift that I have. And honestly, I have influence. When I say things to my people, they take action. Those are the things that I knew were my gifts when I was looking at launching this series this time around. Jot down for yourself. What are your gifts? What's your currency? When you're looking to come to a collaboration and you want to have somebody do an event, be a referral partner, whatever your goal is, what is your gift? What is the currency? And the challenge with this one, y'all, is that a lot of times we downplay our gifts. If you've ever downplayed your gift before, if you've ever, somebody's asked you what's your gift, you say, oh, well, I just do this or I just do that. Put an ouch in the chat. Put an ouch. We downplay our gifts because your gift is something that actually should be pretty simple for you to do. Your gift is something that actually should feel and flow like water for you. We got a big ouch, right? Your gift is something that should not be difficult for you. I used to downplay my gifts all the time because they felt so easy. And I was used to being in an environment where, what do we hear? You got to work hard to get ahead, especially as a woman, especially as a Black woman. You got to work twice as hard. So if I'm not working twice as hard, then I'm not going to get ahead. Anything worth having is worth working for. Anybody hear that one? So if I'm not working hard, I shouldn't have it. Right? That's not true. Your gift is the thing that you can do time and time and time and time again. And that it moves people and it gets them transformation. You know, I heard someone say one time, your gift is so important. The thing that you do in your sleep is the thing that other people are losing sleep over. And that was super powerful for me because it helped me to understand that the value of my gift is not just in how long it takes me, how easy it is for me to do. That's why it's called a gift. The value of my gift is in how it helps to transform other people. It's in the value that it brings to other people, right? So in the chat right now, do me a favor. This one's a little bit easier. Write down your gift because that's step 2. That's going to make your next collab your best collab. First, your goal. What is it that you want to accomplish? The next thing is going to be your gift. What is the thing that you are undefeated in? Right? Look at that. Drop your gift inside of the chat. So we got somebody here who says, you know what? I have the gift of empathy. God showed me this as he strengthened me to overcome emotional overwhelm. Put a me inside of the chat. If you would love to collaborate with somebody who has more empathy than you have, if empathy for you is a gap, put a me in the chat. If it would be super valuable for you to partner with somebody and collab with somebody that had empathy, more empathy than you. It's an invaluable skill. It's an invaluable gift. That is the power of walking in your gift. Collaboration flows and works really, really well when it allows for you to showcase your gift at its highest point. Where collaborations go left is where you're not able to use your gift. When you're trying to be somebody else, when you're trying to do something different, when you're trying to be who the other people are, that's where collaborations go left. So the second thing that I did is I jotted down my gifts and I looked at all the things that I could contribute to making this series happen. Right? So that's number 2. Ileka says her gift is helping others shine and showcasing their greatness. See, Ileka is jumping ahead because the third thing that you have to do, remember, anytime y'all know that I'm here, I'm going to be here for a good time and not a long time. I think it's really important that we could get to the strategies so that you could go and you could execute. So before I even get to the third thing that you need to do, I need to know right now, before I even give you that third thing, if you are committed to executing this literally today, if you are committed to writing down that goal, to writing down that gift, and to doing the third thing, put a go inside of the chat. Because the bonus of this is that all of these things that we talk about are all good, but if they stay in your mind, if they stay in your head, if you do not take action and do the thing, you're actually doing more harm than good. You don't even need to be listening to the strategies. So the third thing that you got to do is you have to do the hard thing. You have to be real about your gaps. You got to be real about the thing that you may not be too good at, or the thing that you lack, or the thing that could be your Achilles heel. So a lot of times we start with our gaps, right? When I was thinking about doing this expert series initially, believe it or not, my gaps were the first thing that popped into my mind. All the reasons that I can't do it. all the things that I don't have. If that happens to you too, go ahead and put a me in the chat where there's a new project or there's an opportunity or there's a way that you could collaborate with somebody. But the first thing you think about is what you don't have, what you lack. Just put a me in the chat. It's natural. This is why it's so important to be in community with people who have so many different skills, because then your gap actually becomes your superpower. And we're going to talk about that in a second. So when I thought about gaps for this series, I thought about the fact that I don't have a lot of time. If you don't have a lot of time, put time in the chat. I don't have a lot of time to be doing all of the things that you should probably do to have a successful event. To be sending out 25 emails a day. To be here 2 hours every single day for a whole week when I got a whole 3 kids and I decided I was going to do this during the week of one of my kids' birthdays. And I got a whole husband. And I got a whole bunch of other obligations. And I still got clients, right? So if time for you is a gap, put time. That was thing number 1. Thing number 2, honestly, was reach. We've done these expert series a couple of times and we've gotten great reach. But after you do events a certain number of times, sometimes you start to say, all right, I'm getting reach, but I want to expand. I want to have more impact. I don't want to settle. I want to bring more impact to the people that trust me to bring collaboration partners to them. So for me, it was a reach thing too. And then the final part, honestly, y'all, was energy. Y'all, I know my energy. I know my energy. So I know that I needed to stack the deck and that this is an event that requires energy. You can't just pop in and be like, all right, y'all, I'm here. Next person coming to the stage. You can't do that. And you have to have energy, not just around the event, but energy around the promotion. So instead of me saying, I don't have the time, I don't have the energy, I don't have the reach, I can't do this, what did I do? I went and I looked at my gaps and I went into our community and said, who has a similar goal to me? Who wants to help more of their clients and more of their audience have more ease and abundance? Who is going to see my gift as valuable to them? And who is a person who has gifts in the areas where I have gaps? Literally, it's almost like a Rubik's, like you're putting it together. You're cross-referencing it. And in that way, by me embracing it, now I'm embracing the gap because you know what? That's giving me more clarity on who I'm looking for. It's like a scavenger hunt now. I'm looking for somebody that has visibility, reach. We could split the time. And at the top of my list was Ileka Falette, right? So that's how we were able to come together and collaborate. And the cool part about it was that any of the gaps that we had, we just continued to do that process over and over again. Because between the two of us, we still had gap areas. So that's when we said, all right, well, we need to bring in Crystal to help us with the back end of everything. It was a benefit and a gift that we both share an admin. So that worked. So, all right, we need to bring in Greg to be able to have an even different voice. All right, who are we going to bring in as speakers? And literally every speaker has now filled in gaps for us. So y'all, if you are ready to take action, to make your next collab your best collab, to make collaboration easier for you so you can have more abundance in your business, first things first, identify your goal. Second thing, get clear on your gift. Third thing, lean into your gaps. so that they can become your superpower. And if you follow literally that in succession for any type of collaboration you want to do, whether it is in your personal life, whether it is on your 9 to 5, whatever it is, your next collab is going to be your best collab. I can guarantee it. And if you're saying to yourself, all right, Deana, I got that, the goals, the gifts, and the gaps, but I don't have a place where I can find gap fillers, and I've tried, they're not in these free Facebook groups, they're not at these BNI events, they're not in the chamber, I'm an introvert, I can't be outside all the time, then my gift to you is that if you're not already part of the Success Tribe Network, I want to give you a guest pass to join us at our very next collab session, where you will have the opportunity to meet some gap fillers for you. But before you come, you got to first get clear on your goal and know what your gift is and know what your gap is so that you can find those fillers when you see them. All right, that's it. That's all I got.
Yes, that's exactly what we did too. I mean, you did it, but I was like, you did the gap part. I was just like, oh yeah, I just collab with Deana. You know, that works for me, because I always think, okay, I know who I am, right? I know I can't wait to get out here and be excited the day of and do all the things. And Deana's thinking, okay, where does this fit in? Where does that fit in?
Where do we go?
The perfect mesh, right?
Yeah, for sure.
And it works. I love that.
It works. So, I mean, that's it. It's really that simple. And it's all about having a framework.
Yep, exactly. And that's the thing. Many times we go into collabs without that framework, right?
That's
and a year and a half later, we still like, what happened with that collab that we were going to do?
I talked to them 5 times.
Right.
Nah. If you're watching this right now and that is a strategy that you feel confident that you can execute today, you're like, yeah, I could do that. That makes this a little easier for me. Just go ahead and put an ease in the chat. Put an ease. If that strategy makes this a little bit easier for you.
Yes.
So I'm excited because that's day 3 for us.
In the books, day 3.
In the books. Like, we're here in day 3. We got 2 more days. Where's Greg? There he is. We got 2 more days to go.
Yes. And we got people putting E's in chat. And somebody even just put E. They was like, I do it so easy. I don't even write up the whole word.
I'm redefining E's. I'm just putting the E.
Oh, I saw that. I was like,
you know what I'm talking about, but see, we understood it.
Right?
Exactly. They did what was convenient for them. That's what I'm talking about. I love it.
That's how easy
I love it.
That's how much,
they took action.
Right. Exactly.
I'm gonna put the E. Y'all, I appreciate. No, ain't no my bad. That's good. That's good. Look, you got the cheat code.
Right. I love it.
You got the cheat code. You got the cheat code. So tomorrow, who's up tomorrow? So
tomorrow we got.
So I am hosting tomorrow. So that's gonna be something. Then we got Dora Rankin tomorrow, who's going to be talking about the heart cell. That's going to be amazing, right?
She's leaning in. Yes.
She's leaning all the way in, which I am super, super excited about. We got our OBD with OCD tomorrow.
Yes.
Talk about the easy button. If she is not in your world, in your life, in your universe, y'all need to make sure that y'all have a crystal somewhere up in your life to get all of the things together for you. And then tomorrow, Doug is actually gonna be here.
Is it this Doug or is it another Doug? Is it the Doug?
It is the Doug.
The actual Doug. Okay.
The hug. It's Doug, y'all. Doug from Fire Savvy is going to be here tomorrow, and he and I are going to have an amazing fireside chat. If y'all haven't met Doug, the man, the myth, the legend that is Doug yet, y'all, look, that's all the promo we need. Doug gonna
We
be
were talking about him earlier. We already know.
Yeah.
Doug gonna be here tomorrow. He said, "You mean Greg? No, I mean Doug.
No.
I mean the Doug. Doug Stampley is gonna be here tomorrow. I'm excited."
Me
Yo,
too.
Ileka, I want to know what your budget was, Ileka. You paid Deana twice to speak. You know she don't speak for free. So I don't know. I don't know. You got her to speak twice, Ileka. You got that retreat must have hit you real good in the first because you just spending the cash.
Listen,
I'm with it, though.
Right.
And I'm glad everyone can enjoy it. But I'm
you
with it.
gotta invest for impact. You gotta
Right.
invest for impact.
Exactly.
But tomorrow's gonna be a great day. Today was dope. I appreciate y'all letting me chat today. And I can't wait for tomorrow. I think tomorrow's going to be great.
I'm so excited.
And remember, y'all, if you're watching this and you're saying these speakers are amazing, I want to hear more from them. I want to talk to them more. Make sure that you're in the Success Tribe Facebook group and make sure that if you're not part of our membership yet, that you at least get a guest pass because the speakers are going to be in our next collab session.
Exactly. And
Yeah,
be
guys,
sure
just
to
offer
text
that
day.
Deana's
Oh, go ahead. I'm saying be sure to text day 3 to 718-555-8706. You see it going across the screen. Text it. Get with these speakers. They're giving you, some free gifts, first of all, and giving you the opportunity to connect with them on a deeper level. Like, this is game changing.
It's a big
you want to write that book and get your finances together. Like, come on now.
All the things. And then you want to collab.
Right.
And be able to showcase your goal, gift, and gap.
Exactly.
You want together.
You want to create a plan for ease and abundance. Like, come on.
Let's do it.
Right.
Let's do it. All right, y'all. We're going to wrap it up. We're so glad that y'all joined us here today. We can't wait to see you tomorrow. Y'all give it up again for Ileka Falette. Y'all make sure that y'all connect with Ileka. She's the truth. And connect with her about her offer. And we'll see you tomorrow at noon.
See you tomorrow.